gives you a look.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm gonna look at and I'm gonna look at him. Is there anything magical about Dennis?
Nope.
Is there anything psionic about Dennis?
I mean, he has a brain.
Well, you gave me the glasses. I'm gonna use them.
Yeah,
Listen,
Now, to be fair, Daddy did not have a brain.
And Stemcevich shrugs. Says, I had a sister once, looked exactly like a bullfrog.
I have no response for that.
Right down to the neck, you see, would stretch out. And he starts laughing.
Okay, but you've known him for many years since he was a child. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
the story is that a woman sick came to the village where he was living with her infant son. She died of some terrible illness. And Stemcevich took the boy. And eventually the lad became his apprentice, learned his trade, which is carpentry. And this all happened 20 years ago? 19 or 20?
uh-huh. Well, I'll get everybody back together and we're like, there's nothing magical about him. There's nothing psionic about him.
There's nothing Denny about him.
There's
Denny
nothing
would work.
There's nothing Denny about him. At this point, all we can say is it's a coincidence.
That's a very, very unlikely coincidence. It is the kind of coincidence that I do not believe in.
Do you guys make any effort to stop Tenny from visiting her friend at midday?
No,
I'm going to tell Penny that it is improper for her to be... First of all, she's bothering the workers, and she's going to get them in trouble. But it's also improper for someone of her station to be consorting with them.
She lives. Tinny is a. We all grew up in the woods. I don't think that's that. And I'm gonna look at you and like that excuse is not gonna fly. We all grew up in the woods, basically.
Jeannie, how often do you gainsay Evie? Do you do it in front of other people?
No, but between me and like siblings, yeah.
Is it going to be like it was in Brennanine then? That I have to dress nice and keep my shoes clean and not play in trees and bushes?
Penny, this is a very dangerous place. I just need to make sure that you're okay.
It's the nicest place we've been to since we left Brennanine.
I'm hoping that we could make this to be a home for as long as we need to stay here.
Okay, fine. Have it your own way. I just won't make any friends ever again. And then she storms off.
All right, way to go. And then I'm gonna look at her and says, "I think you had that exact conversation with Ruby once."
Evie just goes and she just has to go like stare at a wall for a couple of hours after that. What am I becoming?
Just critical blow from Jeannie. Like, yeah, I think you had that. I think you had that exact conversation. Just critical blow.
Ekon.
Yeah.
What are your particular... Because, I mean, you've gone around to some of the local villages. You guys have done some surveying in the land around you. And you imagine they could both be settled once you have enough people. Perhaps this time next year, after you've survived here a season, they could be settled and the farmland around them put to good use. You also get reports back from the furthest outriders, the ones you sent furthest afield. Mm-hmm. And they've brought back a cart full of rocks and some samples from some nearby hills that they believe contain tin and copper. So you might even have mining resources available.
I feel like we're more strapped for people than natural resources at this point.
And everybody would agree with you on that point. You do find one more person, though, as you're going around the church. You've gotten most of the debris cleared out. At this point, most of the broken roof has been disassembled, so the construction can begin again. From a part in the church, out of one of the back windows off to the side of the tower, you can look out and see, just before the tree line where the old graveyard was, where you put that box of hands. And there's a child sitting out there amongst the broken headstones.
I don't like where this is going.
When is this? When does this happen?
Just at some point as you guys are working around the village.
I think Ekon will approach the child.
Do not approach the creepy child alone.
And Creepy Child is right. I mean, before you get close enough to the kid that he notices you're coming, you can smell the stench of death on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he jumps up to his feet, and turns around. He's wearing a pretty decent condition clothes, but obviously they're rough spun. They're not quality clothes, but they're well cared for. You can see the shirt has been repaired many times. And he has a cloak with a hood pulled up over his face. His skin is gray and pallid, and you can see places of it which are very badly putrefied. And his eyes are glassy and milky, like a corpse's would be after several days. And he just kind of smarts up as you approach, as he hears you coming.
I guess I'll call out. Hello there, do you have a name?
And he swiftly reaches up and pulls his hood down. And in Darkanese responds, "Forgive me, my lord. I'm Puba."
And what are you doing in these land? What are you doing in our cemetery, Pumbaa?
If it please you, I'm visiting my mother's grave. She's buried just there.
No, I don't see any problem with that.
And the place where he points doesn't even have a headstone. There's no marker. And
Well, this graveyard is not very well.
yeah.
How often do you come to visit?
As often as I can, my lord. I don't mean to cause any bother.
I don't think you'll cause any bother, though I might have to tell the others to make sure they give you a wide berth. They can be a little more suspicious of people sometimes.
Oh, it's not my intent to do anything suspicious, my lord.
How long are you planning to stay here?
The visit was almost done. I could be on my way.
Oh, well, take your time, please. I'm not trying to rush you. Just, if you... The next time you come back to visit, be sure not to wander into the village, because I'm not sure how anyone there would react.
And he looks at the village, and there's lots of activity going on. And he just gives you a curt nod and tells you that he will.
I think you just ran off our, this is the so-and-so. I think you, like, our little boy that names the village when the NPC. I think you just ran him off.
And I'll walk back and let him... I'll keep watching him, but I'll walk back and let him finish his visit.
And yeah, you watch him, and he spends a few more minutes in front of the grave, and he reaches into his cloak, pulls out a bouquet, just a handful of dead flowers, lays them down on the ground. Again, there's no marker where he's standing. And then, after a while, he gets back to his feet, and he walks off back into the woods.
And I'll report that back to the rest of my family.
So you guys hear about how Ekon made a friend.
Where did a child come from? We're in the middle of the wilderness.
Yeah, I mean, the kid wasn't alive. It's not quite a ghost. Like, didn't seem to have a corporeal body, at least. But no, I don't think it's something restless.
Where did he come from? We can't have the Walking Dead coming and approaching our village. That's not going to go well.
Were you guys
Sounds like
having this
child.
conversation?
Huh?
What
In
was
the
this?
keep, away
keep?
from everyone else.
Okay.
Sounds like he came from this village. His mother is buried here.
Sounds to me like we need to work on this fence a little fast.
Yeah, I want this palisade to become the #1 priority because I'm also expecting that guy we left is going to come back to try to make trouble. And he clearly had some kind of ally or something that he thought was an ally who lived nearby. So I don't know that there was any way to avoid that. So I think we just need to prepare for it.
We're still working on the long haul. Once that's done, then we can move on to the palisade. Because this place means nothing if people don't have a place to sleep.
So you get back to work on the palisade wall and all the other buildings, and continually carving these vines back. And yeah, keeping an eye on it irregularly, but usually once or twice a week. It's just a little ritual. He emerges from the woods, kneels down next in the center of this ruined cemetery, lays a handful of twigs, gets up and leaves.
I'll have standing orders for people to give him a wide berth and try not to, if they see him, not to interact with him. And I would like to actually talk to him one of the times that he starts like coming back. Like I'd like to make it a point to have someone have orders to come and tell me the next time he comes back at some point.
So even before the second or maybe the third time that you see him,
Yeah.
then I mean, word gets around town. There's a dead boy in the woods, and some of the Teamsters and other settlers bring the concern. If there's a dead boy in the woods, it needs to be burned. Nothing good comes of the dead walking around and doing things.
Ekon, is there any way we could bring that boy to put him to peace?
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned that burning him would just make the dead more angry. I want to talk to him and see if there's something we can do to put him at rest, and then nature can take its course.
Evie and Ekon, give me an insight check.
Sure. Oh, I actually rolled really well.
14.
I got a 25.
25. Evie, you very quickly become aware that, I mean, it's your call. At this point, nobody in the village is going to act or move against you. But if you let this monster live, and that becomes the type of rule that these people see that you are, you're going to sow mistrust amongst these people. Whether or not the boy is a danger is irrelevant to them. He's a monster. Ekon, you see that mistrust starting to build amongst some of the workers that are now starting to get a couple of the outlaying houses livable and foundations started on small homesteads. You're worried that if Evie chooses not to do anything and just kind of monitor this situation, one or more of them might take the matter into their own hands at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell Ekon, like, this needs to be taken care of one way or the other. I would prefer to do it in a way where the boy, doesn't get hurt, but we can't have an undead creature lurking near our town.
I'll take care of it. If you're saying this around Eugenia.
I've got it.
I'm going to leave this to the Aethar. He is the best equipped of us to deal with the situation. If you need help, absolutely,
Yeah, obviously.
you can ask us, but I need this taken care of.
Yep.
I was just gonna burn him.
Yeah, we know.
I've got all the fire.
We know.
Minus
You-
one.
You're
Listen,
not subtle, Genie. You're
listen,
not subtle, Genie, at all. Not
Ekon
even a
has
little bit.
Ekon has plenty of fire. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but he never uses it.
He uses it all the time.
Ekon,
He used it on our cousin.
on subsequent visits,
When you didn't.
you find that the boy is friendly enough. He's polite. But asking him any direct questions about his life very quickly go nowhere.
Okay.
You're not even
He's-
able to nail down whether he lived in this village, and if so, what happened to it. He doesn't seem to know.
But he has a physical body, right? He's corporeal.
What do you determine as? You like walk up and poke him?
I look to see if he leaves any tracks in the ground after where he walked.
Yeah, he does leave footsteps in fresh mud.
Then I would like to take Orson out and track him back after 12 hours after the last time he came to see where to follow him.
Okay. Go ahead and have Orson make me a survival check.
+2.
I'll go ahead and put enhanced ability on him. So he gets a 10.
A 10 on survival?
Yeah.
Okay. He reports back that he lost the trail about 6 hours out of town. It looks like they go very deep in the woods, but he can't be certain.
Okay. Can you find your way back to that point later?
Oh yeah, he sure can. In fact, they're
Okay,
starting
well,
to get him and the rest of the survivalists, like they're starting to get a good lay of the land around here. What do people, I'm going to start calling them the villagers, that's essentially what they are. What rights do they have to hunt these woods and take resources off of the land?
Good question. I think there's a certain section that needs to be reserved, for our purposes because we have a family to look for.
And
Uh,
the
The ironwood belongs to the Veritas family.
Yeah, I think that's going to be put aside for our purposes.
I mean, we're the only ones that know how to turn it. I'm the only one that probably knows how to turn it into ironwood.
I don't think any of them even know what it is. So I think us just saying those trees are for our use, fine. We're talking about having iron and copper potentially deposits in the area.
Tin, not copper.
Okay,
Not,
tin.
not iron. Tin and copper.
Okay, tin and copper. Okay, so
Bronze.
those rights are going to. I think we're going to reserve those rights until we actually have a mining situation put together. Then we'll revisit that. I'm perfectly okay with people, in terms of like hunting for their own food. I don't necessarily see a problem with that.
In terms of food, we need to have stores built up first, and then people can keep what they hunt.
Well, right now they're not hunting more than it can be eaten. Like right now, if they
I would just think it would be okay. My suggestion is that we just have a communal food store.
Victor also.
And that anything that they hunt is everyone's right now because we still don't have enough people here to actually have like specialization of skills. Like I think right now everything is the Veritas's, and we assign how it's used.
Yeah, and for the moment, everybody can hunt to eat their fill. I don't have a problem with that. The mining rights that will be discussed at a later time once we actually have a mining operation. Lumber right now, all the lumber we're doing is just being used to rebuild essentially.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think a good idea would be to actually like set up once we have all the lumber that we can use to rebuild. Once everything is kind of reestablished, I think a lumber mill is a good economic idea if someone wants to run that as a business.
Well,
we wouldn't have to.
They specifically want hunting rights and logging rights currently. Is that what I heard?
Well, the villagers won't go and hunt things unless they're sure they're not going to be hanged for poaching.
Right now, I think. Well, it isn't like in the history, like medieval, like peasants were not allowed to hunt on their lord's land.
Yeah, exactly.
They could only hunt on common land.
Correct.
So why don't we declare some of the land common land?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Some of it's going to be for us so that Orson can go hunt, and some of it will be common land.
Okay.
And like, because we have a big wide range here between here and the other villages, right?
The nearest villages that Ekon had found, one of which you passed on the road, but they're empty. They're ghost towns, similar to this one, but not in quite good a shape, perhaps.
Yeah, so we can carve out some pieces of land once Victor completes the map and we have a better idea of what our actual, immediate region looks like.
Do we actually have borders that we're aware of?
I
Do
think
we
it's
know
just
of other
mist.
local sovereigns?
Your particular region is completely encircled by mist.
Okay.
So your borders will be the natural borders of the mist. That's what was granted to you.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that dude is going to come back with whoever he thought his boss was, and then we can deal with that situation one way or another.
Well, on that note, 2 outriders are sent out on a particular errand for one of you. One of you wanted them to ride out south for some particular concern. One comes back, and he is exhausted. He says he's been running all night. He says that he and the man that he was sent with were camped for the night. We're going to return home the next day. Were set upon by a gang. That arrows came raining down. They shot the other man to death, but he recovered one of the arrows as he was fleeing. Evie, can I have a perception check, please?
Sure. Oh, I cannot roll. That's a 9.
A 9?
Mm-hmm.
The arrow seems light to your hand. You're not a Fletcher by any means, but...
Edmont's our archer. I'll show it to him.
Edmont, it's an arrow.
An arrow. It's an arrow.
He shakes his head and says, I ran all night, but I think they're behind me. They could be here in a matter of hours, maybe less.
All right, then. I guess we have to go civilize our lands. So I'll call together our crew.
Get everybody in the
Say,
Move everyone to the long hall.
now I don't want to leave the village unprotected, so we need to figure out what we're going to do there. So some of us,
There are fighting people in our group, so
yeah. So I just want to make sure. I don't want our
dangerous.
I don't want our whole group to leave, and then the village gets sacked behind us, and there's no one here who can fight.
So who are you grouping up out at the southern? I mean, not gate. There's not a gate of any kind.
I think it's the player characters plus Orson.
Okay. By the time you organize everybody, what do you tell the rest of the workers and the people in the fields?
That we have to go take care of a problem. It's going to be solved. Don't worry about it.
But
to
they're-
go back and
They're to continue work openly in the village for now?
No, they should be.
They should go
They
work on getting
they
the
should
keep.
take refuge. They should take refuge in the long hall.
the long haul or the keep.
I'm thinking of the keep, because inside the keep they can work on getting it nice and pretty as long as they stay out of the creepy mirror that Victor doesn't know about.
I don't think they need to be working right now. I think they need to be in a defensible area that Abernathy and some of the other members of our party can.
The long hall is
Defend.
that Edmont is refurbishing is the building closest to the direction they're going to be approaching from.
Best thing we got for now.
The keep is the best place for them to go as long as they don't interrupt the mirrors.
Okay, so they're holed up in the back. Work has ceased. So from the south, you wouldn't be able to see any villagers working anymore. So kind of goes quiet, and you guys gather up. And yeah, sure enough, within the hour, a group of about 30 men coming up the road. And amongst them, at least a dozen, perhaps more, large black wolves loping astride them. They're all on foot. None of them are riding, but they're also making a big show of being armed. You see men with great two-handed swords, men with axes. You see men with quivers strung across them back. And a very tall but very thin man steps out from the rest of the crowd, and very bizarre looking. The left side of his body, as he comes into view, as he comes close enough that you can view the details, he's wearing an open vest. And the left side of his body, anywhere that can hold a piercing, is holding one. Eyelid, left nostril, lip, nipple, ears. There are even some that are just surface piercings in his cheek or in his torso coming down the side. And he calls out, "Which one of you manhandled my dear friend?" Then a second man comes out of the group and joins the first, and you recognize the one whose house Genie broke into.
There was no front door. None. Not a front door. And he jumped out the window. I vehemently oppose the label that I broke into his house.
Can you tell him that?
Yeah. I walked in the house and he jumped out the window and ran away like a little girl.
Victor politely informs him that nobody manhandled his friend. He tripped as he was running away.
So he starts leaving the group of them behind to kind of come out. They're a good 40 or 50 feet away from what will charitably be called the future site of a south gate. Do any of you step forward to meet him? Or are you all staying kind of within the palisade here?
Staying near the gate.
I mean,
Make the.
Ekon's gonna walk over to Evie and say, "Evie, this is your show. Put on a good one." And he's gonna move to walk in stride with her forward.
Yeah, I'll walk behind her as well.
Okay.
With my weapon drawn.
With weapon drawn. This man's not carrying a weapon, nor is there a wolf loping next to him. But he is all braggadocio. This is all machismo, and you see he's a very hairy man. His face is clean shaven underneath his nose and his lips and his chin, but he has big, shaggy, black mutton chops and more hair under his armpits than you've ever seen on a man. Hairy torso stretching down into his pants. Other than that, he's just wearing this open vest. And he swaggers forward. "Who the fuck are you lot to do my man wrong in his own house?"
And who are you to approach my land?
"Who am I? I'm fuck around. And these lads, they're find out."
Victor just kind of shakes his head as he leans against the palisade.
You come here uninvited and brandishing weapons. You can either leave or you can all die. Those are the two options. There will not be any further discussion.
He turns around. You hear that, lads? And they all start, you hear chuckling and laughing, and the weapons are coming out now. Swords,
blow them up.
axes.
Wait, break it. So as they start pulling their weapons up, Victor is going to establish a telepathic link with this leader.
Okay.
And he's going to start reciting the creepiest fucking nursery rhyme he can think of.
Okay.
Happy birthday, happy.
The itsy spider cried out.
And you see the man, once he realizes that something's going on, you catch him off guard for a moment, but he seems to shake it off. He's not perturbed. And he calls out, "Whoever's singing in my head, something more pleasant, yeah? Something we can dance to. Is there going to be a dance, you whore?"
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Edmont leans forward and he says, "I've dealt with your lot many a time.
Oh, have you?
Put those of you that didn't kill to the route."
So I'm thinking this is where we're going to ask for initiative because I'm dropping a flaming sphere into the middle of their party.
Evie just says, Ekon fix it.
So
I just say, blow them up.
you give Ekon the word?
Yeah. I said you could leave or you could die. They chose die.
Yeah, as soon as she says that, I drop a flaming sphere in the middle of them.
I drop
Okay.
a shatter.
What's the range on Flaming Sphere?
Let's see here. Range is 60 feet.
Okay, so you'd have to approach a little bit more then.
Can I move 30 and drop it?
So you're moving
Can that be done
forward
as-
beyond Evie at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's roll initiative. I'm not going to actually put this onto the map, but... Oh, there's already a red and black one on the map. That's nice. We'll just use these. So, the man with all the piercings is standing well away from his group. He's actually moved all up as far to... Like, his intent was to come up all the way to the gate to speak with you. You guys had come out of the gate, and then Evie and Ekon have advanced a little bit beyond that. So you'd have to walk almost up next to the man to be within range of 60 feet to throw a flaming sphere in the middle of their group. That's the intent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that is absolutely the intent.
Then we're going to pick up with Victor is at the top of the initiative.
So this guy has no weapons. He's just making a bunch of noise.
He's making a lot of noise, yeah.
How far away is he from our group?
So Ekon is going to use his movement 30 feet to get up to where the man is standing and was shouting at you. That's going to put Ekon in range to cast a flaming sphere 60 feet away into the group of men.
All right. So Victor, being a little shit right now, is
Right now?
just right now.
He's never been one before. This is
Never. Not even once.
He's going to approach the man,
Okay.
and I'm not sure how you want to do this, but he is going to. What's this guy wearing?
He's wearing breeches and an open vest.
All right. Well, he's not going to be wearing breeches in a second. So the intent is Victor is going to walk up, pants this guy, and then attempt to leave his threat range with the disengage.
All right, we'll call that a grapple.
Not a sleight of hands.
No. Sleight of hand is concealing a coin in your cufflink.
I just want to steal his belt.
You've got to beat a 15.
Well, it's in 10, so
A 10? So Victor strides up.
You have your dice if you want to try that. Because remember, you don't.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do get my.
Yeah, because you don't lose the die unless it succeeds.
So that would be an 18 then.
Okay. Yeah, you get up on this man's breeches, and you pull his pants down, then you turn around and run back the way you came. Disengage. Well, you can't. Yeah, you can disengage as a bonus and get away. Get away.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's riotous laughter coming from the crowd. The man looks down. He wasn't wearing any small clothes. And he just turns back. You see that, boys? I see that one fancies my cock and balls.
Why am I seeing so many men with their pants off lately?
It's just that kind of
We've got Orson with Edmont on deck.
What's Orson doing?
Orson is gonna stand in front of Evie and dodge.
Okay. That's it.
We've got Edmont with Genie on deck.
Edmont, this man has no pants on, and you can relate.
I can relate. Let's see. Edmond's going to draw his spear and close. But he's going to use martial arts. He is going to attack and then martial arts.
Okay. So beating up the pantsless hairy man.
Yup. That's a crit.
Nice.
Right in his cock and balls.
Right in the cock and balls.
Are you using the spear? Because that's a D6.
Yeah. No, I'm throwing elbows and kicks.
Gotcha.
But my martial arts did go up to a D6. I just wanted to double check that. Unarmed strike goes up to. That's going to be 5 points bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
The crit?
You know. Oh wait, yeah. Let's throw in another. Let's make that 10 points bludgeoning damage.
10 points.
Yep.
And you punch this guy, and when I designed this encounter, this man was wearing pants. I want everybody to know that.
Welcome.
Yep.
Well done.
You try to bat this guy's giblets, and it hurts your hand. Your hand impacts his mommy-daddy buttons with such force that you're like, anybody would crumple over. But it's like punching iron. Because his, let's be respectable, his pubic patch is like wearing armor. And you can tell the punch did nothing. And he is laughing as he looms over you.
Flurry of blows.
Okay.
That's another crit. And does a 12 hit?
12 does hit.
12 does hit?
No, I'm sorry,
Okay.
it does not. I'm sorry.
Okay, then.
Reading my wrong.
So I'm also going to use my special class feature. The special dream fun one.
The dark power that you were granted by the evil mists of Ravenloft. Okay.
Yep, exactly. So I'm going to need him to make. So he's going to be taking 4, 8, 3, 11 points of bludgeoning damage from that second hit,
Okay.
and he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
I have a 17.
That's probably going to pass. Just double checking my save to make sure I've done that right. Proficiency is still... That's +3 at this point, isn't it?
Yep.
11. 13. Yep, no, it's DC is 13. Apologies.
DC's 13? Yeah, he's got a 17.
Yep.
So yeah, again, you're throwing strikes at this guy, and it's just like hitting armor.
Okay. And that ends Edmont's turn.
We've got Genie with red token on deck.
Okay. Genie is going to walk forward about half of the distance between Evie and the man.
Sure.
And I am going to... does a 13 hit him?
13 does not.
Okay, well that misses.
Narrowing down this guy's AC.
He has no AC from pants, though. Remember that.
Yes, he's lost his AC bonus from pants. This was supposed to be a dignified encounter, and then...
no, it wasn't. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast
You
Sanctuary.
threw it at this group. You knew it wasn't going to be a dignified encounter.
To cast what?
Sanctuary on Edmont.
Okay.
And then we've got red token with black token on deck.
Okay. Red token is the individual man who is now standing in front of Edmont.
And got punched in the dick twice.
Edmont,
Sir.
you immediately, you're pulling your hand back after threatening to strike this guy down with a few blows, and you're almost positive your first strike went right for the giblets. The second strike, you were aiming like a kidney punch, like an open patch of flesh, but looking at it now, more and more hair is growing around his torso. He cranes his neck upward, and as he opens his mouth, you think he's about to say something disgusting. Again, like he has been this whole time. But as he opens it, you see rows of razor-sharp teeth. So the man transforms into a hulking werewolf. And he stands at least a foot taller now than he did before. And he's looming over you, and you see his hands reach out, and claws begin to form where his fingernails were.
Oh boy. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting this.
You can make a strength athletics or dex acrobatics to evade his grapple.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go dex acrobatic there.
Sure.
You got to beat a 23.
I have a 9. So yeah, he reaches down with one of his claws to snatch you up, but he tears away part of your sleeve instead as you slither just out of his grasp. And he just holds the scrap of cloth up to his muzzle, up to what is now this wolf's snout. And he sniffs at it. But he doesn't move after that point. You're still in his threat range.
Yeah, that's good.
Who's next?
I think I
Black
know what I'm
token
going to use
with,
key points for in the future.
Evie on deck.
Black is next. Looking out amongst the group, 30 of them, at least, 24 or more, and you see similar transformations happening amongst the men. They get larger, they get hairier, and you're starting to hear growls and barks and yowls coming from that direction.
Can we fight 30 werewolves? I guess we're going to find out.
How many fireballs do we have?
Who's next?
Evie with Ekon on deck.
Okay. From the compartment in her ring, a small dose of poison dispenses onto her knife, and she moves forward and throws it at the man who Edmont is fighting.
Okay.
That was a 2. I cannot roll.
I mean, you tried. That's all that matters.
Well, it turns into a 9.
No, 9 does not hit.
Well, the poison lasts a minute or until, so it's not like you wasted it.
Mm-hmm. As a bonus action, I will give Victor advantage to attack that guy on his next turn.
You used your bonus action to apply the poison.
Oh, you're right, I did. Okay, I'm done then.
All right, who's next?
Ekon. So how many of these guys fit in a 20-foot radius sphere?
There's 30 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably get the whole group.
Yeah, let's do it. I need 30 DC 15 dexterity saving throws.
Oh boy. Against Fireball?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll that damage. I have a website for this. This doesn't create any more work for me. I can roll. And any arbitrary number of d20s I want.
372 d20s. That's a really good roll.
33 fire damage.
Nice. Treble, how many do you want me to roll?
362.
That's a total of 3,852. Did you need those enumerated?
Yes, please.
No.
I need the report on my desk by next Monday.
Bear with me one moment.
Yeah.
You really got to get that bear out of your office.
The fireball explodes amongst the group of men, and you catch the pantsless one in front of Edmont. Catch him off guard. It startles him. Looking back, and yeah, this fireball explodes, and some number of them are on fire now. And it looks like they're going to scatter from that position. And it was 33 damage, and it's half that on a successful save. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, you blow up the fireball. This is the most powerful thing Ekon can do as far as damaging magic at the moment, isn't it?
If they're vulnerable to radiant, I can maybe do more if they all close in on me. But yes, generally.
So you blow up this fireball, and some of them are wounded. The fire did hurt, but none of them drop. None of these guys go down.
How many of those can you do?
I have one more.
Moving or staying put?
That's the end of my turn.
And who's next?
Got Victor with Orson on deck.
Victor, fix it.
So the first thing Victor's going to do is going to go up, hey, let's all stop fucking around and talk, eh?
Are you using that weird accent?
When you turn into a werewolf, talking has kind of gone out the window.
Less talking, more stabbing.
So you're calling out, hey, let's talk?
Yeah.
The werewolf standing in front of Edmont, holding the scrap of cloth, replies, and his voice is changed now. It's like he's using the growliness in his throat to form the words. And he replies, all right, what have you got to say? What is Victor doing on the rest of his turn? You can still move and act.
So he's not going to attack. He's going to basically use his action to try and diffuse the situation, if that's possible.
We're way beyond that, unless you've got magic to mind control him or something. The belligerence is pretty far out of hand.
When the fireballs start coming, man, the talking is done.
Yeah, talking's over when the fireballs come out, man. You can't be doing that, dude.
Well, I guess we're going to throw some daggers.
So you call to the man and say, hey, let's talk. And he says, all right, what have you got to say? And then you throw daggers at him?
Daggers. He's got daggers to say.
All right, that's fair enough. Just making sure.
And you do get your sneak attack because Edmont is next to him.
Edmont is standing right next to him.
And I did give you advantage.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
No, you had your bonus.
Oh, no, you're right. I didn't.
All right, so bonus action is going to be to put Hunter's Mark on him. And we're going to try some psionic damage this time around.
Okay.
Does a 20 hit.
20 hits.
So in response to his "What do you have to say?" Victor yells out, "Your balls are tiny!" as he throws a dagger.
They're actually not. I mean, they're right there in front of Edmont.
Well, that's okay.
In fact, you can't even see Edmont anymore because the balls are in the way.
Okay, Bricker, let's not get crazy.
It's disturbing.
You're the one who's obsessing with werewolf balls. I'm just saying.
What? I didn't pull this werewolf's pants down. He had pants.
So that's going to be 24 psionic damage.
Okay. Yeah, you throw the psychic knives out, and you see them slash across his chest in a couple of places. Not as ineffective as Edmund's punches were. Moving or staying put?
I'm going to dodge back. Or move back.
Okay. Who's next?
Next up, we have Orson with Edmont on deck.
Orson is going to advance next to Edmont. I guess Edmont and Ekon are both up there.
Okay.
Since Ekon had to move forward to...
Oh, I didn't. Fireball has a way longer range.
Oh, okay.
You can cast Fireball from downtown.
Yeah.
From downtown.
I could have cast Fireball from inside the keep.
All right. From inside. The Spearhead is a 20-something to hit. I just gotta get his actual stat block up. That is a 23 to hit.
23 will hit.
All right. The butt is not going to hit. The butt was a 8.
No, doesn't do it.
That is 6 magical piercing damage.
Okay, yeah, and you see the spearhead catches him in the side. And it draws blood.
All right.
We've got... Oh, go ahead.
I was say that's the end of his turn.
Got Edmont with Genie on deck.
Edmont, fix it.
Aunt is going to actually use the business end of the harpoon he's got in his hands. I have a 21 to hit.
21, that'll hit. Is this a magical weapon?
Yes, it is. 5 points, magical piercing damage.
Okay.
Second attack. 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
For 9 points, magical piercing damage.
Okay. And yeah, you get him twice in the harpoon in the upper leg. And moving or staying put?
8-point dodge.
Got Genie with red token on deck.
Genie says, okay, I guess I'm helping Ekon. What is the range on this spell?
Gotta love that key point dodge.
Actually, you know what? Ekon, you got the group, right?
Yeah,
See,
let's
there's
go
a
with
lot
that.
of
Let's go with that.
I need let's see, I'm gonna do Scorching Ray on the lead werewolf guy.
Okay.
That is a hold on, let me actually just roll one dice here. So it gets 3 hits, right? That's a crit. And that's a d6, a d6. It's 2d6 per level, right?
Yeah, per ray.
Per ray, and then I get a d8 for my class feature.
Yep.
So
That was a
that's
crit, so you get 2 more d6s.
and 2.
And a D8 on top of that.
And then you get 2 more rays.
That is 10, 11, 16, 22 points of damage.
Okay.
Fire damage from the first ray.
It's quite a lot.
The second ray is significant. It's not. It was almost a crit, but not quite. That's 8 plus 7. That's a 15.
15 will hit.
Okay, and he takes an additional 9 points of fire damage. And the third ray is 18.
18 will hit.
And he takes 9 points of fire damage. So that's 22, 9, 9.
And now he is bloodied.
And I guess I no, that's the end of my turn.
Sending a message.
Red token with black token on deck.
Okay. Edmont, you can tell that the wolf is, I mean, he's bloody now. Your friends have used magic and has wounded him.
Mm-hmm.
He disengages from you.
Sure.
And is going to move
Sentinel.
away. He reaches up to the loop in his nipple and twists it and yanks it out. Looking down at you and says, Now we've got your measure. It's only right you have something for me. And you can just smell the raw meat and blood stench. And he throws the loop down at your feet. And he disengages and on all fours lopes away. Meanwhile, the big group, including some of them that have been singed, they begin to scatter in a variety of directions away from you. Is anybody giving chase?
Oh,
I mean, I'm dropping my second fireball. I'm dropping a. How far away is he after that?
You're dropping it on him?
It depends on how far. I might do something else and then fireball.
He'll get 80 feet away on his turn.
On his turn, he'll be 80
Yeah.
feet away. So okay, and that's 60. So if I move, okay. So first, I'm going to use Radiance of the Dawn. So I'll move up 30 feet,
Okay.
and then everything within, except for my allies and my non-allies in the hut, the longhouse within.
Well, you're
That's
only
only 30 feet. Okay.
you're only going to get him because he will have
Yeah.
moved away from you, but then his entire group will have dispersed
No.
back behind him.
Hold an attack for just him. I got this.
Oh yeah, then he's just getting a fireball.
Just dropping a fireball right on him.
If he's 80 feet away, wait, what's the range on Scorching Ray? 30.
120.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's give him a Scorching Ray first then, and I'll do Fireball later. So Scorching Ray, that'll hit a 24. Can't do math. 16 and an actually still a 10.
The 10 doesn't hit, but the other two do.
Okay. Let's go ahead and enjoy another 18 fire damage.
Okay.
And I will move forward 30 feet to try and keep him in range of one last fireball after that.
Okay. Who's next?
listen.
That wasn't really next because you asked who's gonna give him chase. Next was technically Evie.
Oh, is anybody else giving chase?
Oh yeah,
I mean, if we're gonna kill him, then yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Who can reach him 80 feet out?
I can.
Victor can.
I can.
If you can reach him
can,
80
actually.
feet out, I'll give everybody one last attack on him.
I actually can too.
And if you can deplete his hit points to 0,
Alright, so Victor is going to use his special ability to make an acid dagger with his bonus attack,
okay.
and then he's gonna fling a sonic knife. And did you give me
What's the range on the sonic knife? Because he moved 80 feet away from where he was standing.
60 feet?
60 feet? Okay, so you've got to advance pretty much your full movement. Okay, got it.
Yep. So he'll move 30 and then throw. Did you give me advantage on the last turn, Genie?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Evie hasn't gone yet.
So you can't change the damage type then because sneak attack does not apply to this. You don't have a way to get
Well,
sneak attack.
hold on. Like who went? Like it was his turn. That's red. Then it was Evie. So it's like technically Evie's
I'll give
turn.
everybody one last attack on him. I don't
Yeah.
really care what order it happens because if you can't kill him, he's going to get too far away from you and you're not going to be able to follow him.
Okay, Evie will go before Victor, and
Yeah.
Evie can give advantage to Victor, and then she's going to try to throw her knife at him one last time, and she's not going to get sneak attack on this.
Nope.
But she maybe can apply the poison.
Maybe.
That is a 20 something to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah. 26 to hit. So it's gonna roll. I need him to make, if he is not immune to poison, he needs to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
15.
Okay. Well, it's just a dagger then.
It's +1 dagger.
No, yeah, +1. It's magical. It'll do damage.
Magic is good.
Yeah. That's 7 more damage.
All right. And then Victor now has advantage on his attack. So sneak attack does apply, so we can turn it to acid.
So a 22.
Except disadvantage to roll again in case you get a crit.
And a crit. So a 22 and a 23 with a crit.
Can you be the guy?
Probably.
Do I get double all my dice?
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
dice
Yeah.
are double long.
I
That's-
need double dice from you.
All of it.
Yeah, go
double.
for it. I'm out of fireballs.
The best part about playing a rogue.
Yeah.
Thought you had one more fireball left.
I have one more. I just wanted to let them feel like they were letting them get a false sense of confidence.
So that would be 37 acid damage.
And yeah, when you throw the psychic knife this time, his legs cut out from under him. He collapses to the ground.
Well, now we
He
have your
stops
measure.
moving.
Edmont closes to the corpse,
Victor will walk up as well.
and immediately sets about cutting the thing's head off.
Okay.
Gonna put it on a pike.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High five.
Victor is going to cut his family jewels off because that may be a little warning to future werewolves.
Just put that on the base of the.
We're gonna pull the friggin' door. That's gonna be our door knocker.
Do you salvage all of his piercings?
Of course.
Are they magical?
Yeah, I'm gonna detect magic on the body.
Nothing magical. And you take a dagger out and you start gouging the piercings out of the flesh. And
Disgusting.
looking them over, I mean, they look fairly valuable because they're made out of pure silver.
Wow, dude.
That was a-
So he's an edgelord.
That dude's fucking
werewolf.
hardcore. Let me tell you. That dude's
Okay.
fucking hardcore.
I think that's what we'll call it for this week.
Can we give the badass to that werewolf? Because holy shit.
A masochist werewolf. There you go.
I know, right?
Now we know why he had such a bad attitude, though.
I know, right?
Is that the conclusion you guys are taking away from this? That he was a badass werewolf with silver piercings?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck a werewolf is, do we?
No,
No,
we
we don't
don't.
think we
But,
know.
I would
We
assume.
have no idea.
this is the player commenting on that.
All right. I don't really have to do a lot of calculating because I just have to take one werewolf's worth of experience. And divide it. So everybody has 133 experience from slaying the one werewolf.
We would have slayed the rest, but they ran away like little girls.
All right, I'm going to go dark for a few minutes while I build up a straw poll and get that posted. And let's think about what we're going to do with Blips.
Who's the most creative today?
I pulled the werewolf's pants down.
No. I'm not rewarding that kind of behavior.
I tried to diffuse the situation by making it non-violent. And then Edmund punched him in the dick.
I'm more inclined to give it to Edmont for punching him in the dick. Because that's just funny.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's see. Creative.
Well, then who furthered the party's goals the most today?
I guess probably Evie because we let her be in charge.
You mean Ruby? Right. Okay.
That was a
Hey,
Mini Ruby.
it was a very good line, leave or die. And you have chosen
Yeah.
death.
You have chosen death.
they did. And they did.
Cake or death?
Take or death. Who's badass?
Listen, I would like to give that to Edmont for punching a werewolf in the dick.
For punching a werewolf.
Well, like, okay, you got 2 crits on that, and they didn't do jack.
I know,
shit.
it's so sad. It's so sad.
It's like you just punched him so hard in the dick, and it didn't do anything.
Don't monks' attacks ignore damage reduction at a certain
Not
point?
yet. It's
Not
6.
of the. It's key powered strikes. Yeah, it's 6th level.
He's got to get one more level.
Yeah. You know how you guys were all like complaining about? Oh, I don't have 3rd level spells yet. Yeah, no. That
What?
6th level is the one for me. Be a 7th level monk before 7th level character before I can ignore damage resistance like that. Yeah. So we still have a creative and intangible.
I've got an intangible.
Go for it.
I think you had this exact same conversation with Ruby once.
For
Genie?
Genie for that one? Yes.
The most savage burn in the history of this campaign.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then
So we still have creative to do.
Let's give that one to. Damn it! I don't want to give it to him for pantsing the werewolf.
No.
I don't want to.
So you gotta come up with something else to give it to him for, then.
I had 10d6 on an acid dagger. He can use that.
I,
For killing the werewolf?
oh, listen, man. Like that
We
was.
could-
It
we
didn't do
could-
anything, and I. But yeah, the pantsing the werewolf.
All right, who wants to
How's
make a
that?
case for some blips?
I can go.
Ekon.
Flaw, I'm sure there has to be something good just over that next hill for searching the outlying villages for magic or ghosts or whatever.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing that you didn't find any?
I mean, I'm sure there has to be something good right over the next hill. Ideal, give me a reason for letting the ghost child visit the graveyard and leave in peace. And lawful good, the shining words of air lay down a path for us all for trying to push Evie to act more like the lawful lord of the duchy and less like a spoiled noble.
A spoiled noble, huh?
I mean, we're all spoiled nobles. Let's not. Ekon would say the exact same of himself, but
Fair enough. Anything else?
initiative.
All right, who's next?
I can go.
Edmont.
I have fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. For hi werewolf, how are you today?
Did kind of walk.
Like I was
into
just,
that.
I was just ready to just beat the snot out of some swaggering, bandit. Oh, hi werewolf.
We still
I
killed him. It's okay. You still
Life
look
is my
badass.
My life is my canvas, and I will make my mark on it for taking charge of the long haul and planning a bet to help boost everyone's spirits and keep positive energy going.
Okay.
I also noticed you haven't told us about the man in the hat yet.
Yeah, Victor needs to.
I'm getting to it. There's just been pressing knee issues, guys. Come on now.
Let's wait until the man with the hat is the least scary thing happening to us on a weekly basis.
That's probably for a point.
Anything else for Edmont?
And then I have lawful neutral. Take everything you can, give nothing back. Strike that. I had one, but then it just vanished.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go.
Evie.
Alignment. You mess with my family. You mess with me for kind of taking a stand at the village to immediately rallying her people to defend against bandits. Her flaw no one understands for her fight with Tenny. Evie's ideal is going to change this week.
To what?
It is going to be, I must become a leader that others can believe in.
Is that a flaw or an ideal?
An ideal. And a blip for this map.
For the map. Very good. All right, who's next?
I guess Victor can go.
Victor.
So for alignment of neutral, the ends justify the means. Signing Vincent on the contract to make sure that his story was consistent and keep his name protected.
Okay.
For the ideals of seek the truth no matter the cost, that's insisting that the whole notion of knowledge ownership was in that contract.
Okay.
And for the flaws, values knowledge over people, that would have been approaching the first werewolf with the machete to try and get him to talk.
You don't know that guy was a werewolf.
No, he was a guy that ran out of a house with no pants, followed by a wolf, and that raises a number of questions on its own.
He had pants.
What said he was pulling his pants up. You said that, not us.
Right, but he's wearing them. Is my point.
Yeah, he was in the process of attempting to wear his pants.
He didn't know that the Pantsing King lived here.
Was he
Yeah,
sexing
no
the
kidding.
was he sexing the wolf? Is that what was happening?
Listen,
you
I'm not going to
some
go into that.
questions- Yeah,
This is a family stream.
yeah.
My new flaw is this is not a family stream.
So should I change that for Jeannie?
Oh no, it was a joke.
You're the only one left.
Okay, so alignment. When in doubt, go with your gut for just pulling her gun on all these awful people constantly.
You don't know that they're awful. They might be really nice.
Everyone we've met has been incredibly belligerent.
Because you pulled a gun on them.
I pulled the gun after the belligerent started.
I thought Aslan Rex was really nice too. He gave
Right,
you
I
this
didn't
cool
pull a gun.
village and what else you got?
He's a terrible teacher.
Or is Genie a bad
Or that to
student?
his face.
I rolled a 23 on a 25 DC check. I'm a very good student. Let me see. Yeah, I got nothing. Just the video.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna change my ideal and flaw next week. I had something and I just can't find the paperwork.
Who had the most creative solution to a problem this week?
So that's very begrudgingly pantsing the werewolf to Victor.
That was a creative solution to a problem?
I tried to defuse the situation.
What
It was
is what is the problem we were trying to solve?
Like, well, we didn't know he was a werewolf. We were trying
Okay.
to. I guess he was trying to embarrass.
The idea to add some humor and make this guy talking shit look a little less without resorting to violence.
And then what happened?
Violence, a lot of it.
Overwhelming.
Maybe the most violence we've ever done.
Who did,
On
who
a
did the
single
most
individual,
to
I think
further
so,
the
yeah.
party's goals this week?
That was Evie for her speech to the invading bandit / werewolves of you can choose to leave or you can choose to die, and then when they didn't leave, okay, you have chosen to die, and then we killed that motherfucker
Who was
with
the
a lot of
badass?
crits. There was a lot of crits in that short combat.
There was a lot of crits. I didn't roll a single one.
That was Edmont for punching that man in the junk twice with 2 crits that did nothing.
Saddest thing I've ever seen. Any other enemy in any other campaign would have died.
Pretty much. And 1 blip for intangibles.
Gave that to
Genie.
Oh,
Genie
yes.
Or
for saying.
For,
I'm pretty sure you had that exact same conversation with Ruby once.
Savage.
the savage burn. Blip.
Evie will never recover.
Is that why you're changing your ideal?
And Ekon has our straw poll.
People like explosions.
I guess.
We're level
Punching's out.
6 right now, so blips are worth 300. I have that right, correct? We're at level 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
blips are worth 300. Edmont, you just earned 3 and you have 3. Do you want to come in next week with 6?
Yes, I do.
Ekon, you were sitting on 6 and you just earned 5. Evie, you had 5 and earned 4, so you have to roll over at least 3. Do you want to come in next week with 6?
Why did I have 5? I should have 6.
You spent 1 last week to cash in to level up.
Oh, you're right.
Did.
Okay. So how many do I have?
You have 5 and you earned 4.
Oh, yeah, I'll cash in those 3.
Okay. Gina, you had 4 and you earned 3.
3. Yeah, 3. Okay, yeah, cool. 300 experience for me, yay.
And Victor, you had 5 and you just earned 4. You have to cash in at least 3. You're going to come in next week with 6?
Yeah.
6s all around.
I've got to
All right.
find that paperwork.
When we come back next week, we will do some more work in the fledgling village, and I'm sure that there will be no repercussions for diplomatic processes having broken down between you guys and the local lycanthropes.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine.
I'm sure that there was always a positive direction for us in the local lycanthropes. Like,
Well, yeah.
obviously.
When they